Well, that's 23 consecutive for Rick Barnes over Baylor. Never lost to him in his whole career and stayed that way yesterday. What's up, everybody? Before I say anything about the game, I want to say thanks to Jeff, my buddy who goes to Baylor, got me the ticket to the game. Went down there last night. Game was at 8. Weather is terrible here in Texas. Not so bad right now. But, drove back last night, and it was roads were icy and whatnot, but had to get back for class. So, but yeah, man, thanks for that. And it was a great game. I was in the building, and Baylor came to play, and I knew they would. This was not a game where I thought we were just going to roll them. I knew this would be a challenge for Texas on the road against a good team. Now, Baylor record right now is kind of dwindling right now in the conference. I believe now they've lost 3 conference games. That's going to be tough for them to get back in it with Missouri with only 1 loss, Texas with 1 loss, and Kansas and Oklahoma undefeated in conference play. But they're not out of it. No one's out of it just yet. What Texas impressed me in this game was that we continued to make jumpers when they counted. Texas, we can make points. We're a scoring team. We're a very good team. But there are stretches where when a team like Baylor begins to just run down the court and lay it up, and I'll talk about the layups in a little bit, but Texas kept answering. We would not let Baylor get on an extensive run. I think their longest run may have been 4 or 5 points, maybe 6. I'm not sure. No one really got a big run. I think Texas had the longest with 7 at one point. So both teams did a really good job of stepping up on defense when they needed to, and not letting the other team get a consecutive roll. I know at one point we went down, had Dexter Pittman get a big dunk. Got a stop on the other side of the court. Had Damian James come down for a big dunk. Looked like Texas had the momentum. They went right down back on the court. Baylor hits a 3, ties the game. That's how the game went the whole time. It was a fun game to watch, a fun game to be at. It was very sloppy in the sense there was a lot of turnovers and there was a lot of fouls, a lot of ticky-tack fouls. Some of that I put that on the refs a little bit. It seemed like there were a lot on both sides. There were a lot of big fouls that weren't called. I know there's a 3-point shot that we fouled Baylor on that wasn't called. A couple inside shots Damian was, and I know AJ got fouled on. It didn't get called, but then a lot of the touch fouls kept getting called. So both sides, it wasn't a very well officiated game, very ticky-tack. I don't think it affects the outcome of the game. Texas, one thing I will say about what Baylor did really well against us was penetration against us. See, they don't really have an inside game. I talked to the Baylor fans, and they really told me that they have no post presence. They have one real post man. He's not very that good. I think Josh Lomas. But really, all their points are from shooting and from driving the lane, which they did very well. I know especially in the second half when they needed buckets, they went away from that jump shot and went for the easy points. And I don't know what it was, but it seemed like whatever they did, whenever they drove to the basket, they got points out of it, and we couldn't seem to stop it. But on offense, we were able to not let that hurt us because we go down. AJ had 19 points. AJ also had 3 3-pointers, which he is now tied the all-time Big 12 record with 338. He hits one more 3-pointer, he'll be the all-time leader in 3 points made in Big 12 conference. So that's a huge accomplishment. I wanted to be in the building. One of the main reasons I went to the game in Waco during the week was I wanted to see Abrams break the record in person. I saw him tie the record in person. This Saturday, we'll see if we can do that against Kansas State here in Austin. It was a fun game to be at. Very great atmosphere. It really wasn't as packed as I thought it would be. But then again, the weather here in Texas was really bad. It's a weekday game. It was on Tuesday night. So, but for what it was, Baylor fans really did show up. Not a whole lot of Texas fans, so I was kind of there by myself. But it was all good. Everybody there seemed to have a great time. And 70-72. Now, I will still say, and I keep saying this, Texas still is not playing up to par with Oklahoma and even Kansas right now. We're going to have to pick it up. I will say a guy who really stepped up this game was Ward, our freshman. He didn't have a whole lot of points, but one thing he did, the main thing that I'm really happy that he did, he made his free throws, which is big for Texas in the sense that we're not that great with free throws for any shooting team. I think he made all of his, maybe missed one. But he also got a lot of steals, played great defense. And he was smart with his shots. He knew when he was going to get fouled, took the shot, go to the line, and make his free throws. So Ward, I would say, was one of the best players of the game. Damian finally started taking over. Dexter Pittman needs to be in the game longer. Rick Barnes, he keeps pulling Dexter out, and it seemed like only when Lomas went in did Dex go in. And I understand that, when you finally get a true post man in, then you put your true post man in. But on offense, Dexter was dominating. When he was in the game, they couldn't stop him. But we still got the win. Gary Johnson struggled a little bit from the field, but he was all right. But overall, a good win. It was a road win. So all you want to do on the road, especially the Big 12, is just win. Don't worry about style points. Basketball style points don't matter. As long as you get the W, that's all that matters. So hook 'em horns, Texas fight. Can't sled up. Got Kansas State this week. Kansas State is not a very good team. We got them in Austin. It should be a victory for Texas. But if you have that mindset, you won't win. So see what happens then. See you guys this weekend, and hook 'em horns.